Welcome to On Two Wheels. My name is Tom. I will be your host today. Sorry. Hi, my name's Tom. You hadn't already gathered. And this is probably the third, maybe even the fourth attempt at me making the first video for my new YouTube channel. Now, as you can probably tell already, a bit of a newbie to this whole moto vlogging thing. I'll call it moto waffling because that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I've bought myself a camera and a mic, and reason being this is the third or fourth attempt is because every attempt beforehand has failed miserably and you can't hear me, for example, and I'm just sitting there waffling to myself. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me now. Oh, there's a little market going on. So you join me in Perron, excuse the lack of the correct pronunciation, in France. I've been in France now for what dare we say, Saturday. I got to France Thursday morning. Weather has been absolutely horrendous. But it's not raining today, for now. Ignoring the fact that we're going to get thunderstorms later, but we'll worry about that then. So yeah, anyway, so the reason I'm in France, not boring you too much, every year, me, my dad, my brother and my stepbrother do a weekly ride in France on our bicycles, because France is very good for cycling. It's all, cycle paths by, the River Somme or whatever, which is where I am near now, and it's lovely. Now, the plan was this year to do the same thing. However, due to reasons I shan't bore you with, I had to bail out of, not the trip, but of taking my bicycle at the very last minute. And I thought, well, the ferry ticket's already booked, so it'd be a shame to waste it. So I spoke to DFDS, who we got the ferry with, and said, is there any chance, madame, that I could change my booking from a bicycle to a motorbicycle? And she said, oui, oui, monsieur. Which is great. Didn't charge me any extra, so that's good. So here we are, really. So yeah, got off the ferry. Got the ferry from Newhaven to Dieppe on Wednesday, the overnight ferry. So we got to Dieppe at 5 something in the morning. The lads split off on their route, and there I was in the pitch black, in the pissing rain, in France for the first time on a motorbike in my life. It was a bit miserable, if I'm being completely honest with you. I've always wanted to ride abroad in France and travel, and it's one of my regrets not travelling more when I was younger, kind of making the most of not having a mortgage and bills. But yeah, of course, when you're actually in the situation like I was in France, in the dark, no idea where you are, quite daunting. But anyway, it's fine now. I found a oh right, okay. Alright, here he goes. I don't know if you saw that, I just got overtaken by a lorry. Which has probably got something to do with the fact that I'm on a very small capacity bike, which we shall get onto, but not yet. Anyway, so yeah, there was a while there in the wet, in the dark, in the cold, miserable rain, where I was thinking, what the am I doing? But it's okay now, because it stopped raining and the sun is sort of shining and I'm having lots of fun, so that's great. So basically the trip's already pre-planned, so the lads are staying at whatever campsite every night and I'm meeting them there every night. But during the day I'm just off doing my own thing. I might stop and meet them for lunch, and then which is great. I sort of feel like I'm missing out in the sense of, it's quite rewarding when you've done, 130k on the bike and you have a nice cold beer at the end of it. And I'm sort of missing out on that bit. But having said that, I'm having lots of fun on my little Honda. So yeah, so today I am travelling from Péronne to Pierrefonds, which is in the Compiègne region, which is really, really nice. I've been there before. It's a really lovely place. So yeah, to be honest, right now I'm just heading to what I think is a cafe that is hopefully open to meet the lads for a coffee before I depart for the day. Excuse me, awkward silences. I'm sort of trying to concentrate on not dying, as well as talking to you. Riding in France is obviously you're on the other side of the road, but it's not just that. Like if you're going through like a village, for example, I forget what they call it in French, but basically you have to give way to the right, which goes against everything a biker like myself from the UK has ever known. So you've got to really keep your wits about you. Anyway, that's my excuse. So yeah, anyway, let's talk about the bike that I'm riding. Now, I love this bike. I've been riding for 13 years, 14 years, something like that, continuously, and I have never owned a machine, I've never owned a bike that makes me grin as much as this does. I can't explain why, it just makes me happy, which is good, that's important. It's the slowest bike I've ever owned. My first bike was an Aprilia SR125 two-stroke moped, and that was considerably quicker than this, but that's missing the point entirely. I'll pull over a bit later and we'll have a walk around of the bike and you can have a look at it in all its glory. So yeah, anyway, we will catch up shortly for said walk around, but not before I've had a coffee. Catch you in a bit. Alright, hello. As promised, we are going to do a walk around of the Honda CT125, aka possibly the greatest bike in the world. As I say, I've owned this bike for 3 months now, 4 months, something like that. Best thing I've ever bought, best money I've ever spent. I genuinely don't think I will ever get rid of this bike. I love it so much. I use it for green laning at home, on byways, nothing too serious, but because it's so light, you feel like you can give anything a go, and if you get stuck, you just lift the front end up, turn it around, and off you go again. So yeah, it's good fun. Gets a lot of attention, which I like. People fanboying over my bike, who doesn't? So yeah, anyway, just pulled over on a lay-by in France. Oh, there she is. It's not raining yet. Bit of blue sky up there as well. Just on my way down to Compiègne. I thought I'll pull over, we'll have a quick look at the bike, and then we'll jump back on, get to Compiègne, and yeah, bit of riding footage whilst I'm there, because Compiègne, Pierrefonds, is very nice, really, really nice place. Anyway, here it is. I'll spin you around. Da, da, da. In all its glory, look at that. This is a 2020 model, Japanese import. Honda announced this bike late 2019, and ever since then, good God, have I wanted one. I have wanted one of these badly for a long time. I was kind of hoping Honda would bring them to Europe like they did with the Monkey and the Dax, but it seems they're not going to, so I thought, right, I'm going to buy one. Residual values on these are really strong. I guess it's a supply and demand thing, or lack of supply. But yeah, it's the best money I've ever spent on a bike and or anything. It's so much fun. It's slow as... It's slow. Very slow, but that's okay, because it reads in kilometers, and earlier I had 105 down a hill. So yeah, but no, it's great fun. I really, really like it. It's pretty much standard. Being a Japanese import, I don't know if they come with these from factory. I think they do. It's got foot pegs on the rear, which I don't think they all come with. they're saying that there's no seat, so I'm not sure what that's about. I'm assuming you can buy a seat for the back, but I'm not interested in putting anyone on the back of this. I put some bark busters on for my previous bike, just so if I do drop it, then I'm going to brake, and also getting the bike in the garden in my shed, it makes it easier because I can just, do that. So that's good. I took the rubbers out the foot pegs, as I say, because I do a lot of trail riding, off-road riding, whatever you want to call it, wobbling around the countryside. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously we're loaded for this little French trip that I'm on, which I told you about earlier. And yeah, so far so good. Apart from the flat tire we had yesterday, but we're over that now. Got a spare in a tube again, in case it happens again, which I really hope it doesn't. So yeah, there she is, in all her glory. So I bought it I had 600 kilometres when I bought it. We're now nearly 3,000 kilometres, so I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, that's enough waffling. We'll jump back on the bike and we'll catch up in Compiègne. And yeah, catch you in a bit. Well, hello there. You now join me in a place called Pierrefonds. And again, apologies for the poor pronunciations, which is in the Compiègne region of France, and it's really rather lovely, as you will see shortly. Now I'm off to the supermarket. My phone's on like 5% battery, so I may or may not make it there before it dies. Anyway, yes, Compiègne, Pierrefonds, very nice. The sun is shining. It was chucking it down with rain about an hour ago, and thunderstorms are forecast for tonight and most of tomorrow. However, right now, the sun is shining. A lake over there. So as you can see, really rather nice. And there's the chateau. The scaffolding doesn't sort of, doesn't give off the best look, but you can see past that. Very nice. I was here 2 years ago, and they had scaffolding outside then. Having said that, that's a big old place. I imagine whatever they're doing is going to take a very long time. So I've got my tent all set up. Managed to dry it off a bit first as well. There's nothing worse than setting up a wet tent. But yeah, luckily the rain held off for not long enough that I was able to dry it out. So that has made me rather happy. And yeah, supermarket now. Going to get some steak hachés for dinner. If you don't know, get to know. And I forget the name, but there's a beer that's kind of low. Oh, here we go. There's a beer that's kind of specific or local to this area, this region. And good God, I remember having it last time, and I've never had a beer quite like it. So I'm going to get myself some of those as well. The mighty Honda is performing absolutely flawlessly on this trip, as to be expected. Oh, this is lovely. This is the best it's been yet for me for this trip. As I said, I started off a bit nervous when it was fucking, excuse my language, French, pitch black at 5 o'clock in the morning in Dieppe. No idea what I'm doing or where I'm going, but that has all gone now, and I'm just really enjoying this. So if you're ever on the fence, give way to the left in France. if you're ever on the fence about doing something like this, just hopping on a ferry and seeing another country, easy for me to say now, but you know, absolutely, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's great fun. It does sort of get spoilt when it rains, but anyway, it's moments like this that make it worth it.